Whiskey fungus is something that most of us just aren't too familiar with, but for residents in a rural Tennessee neighborhood, the sooty black mold has spread uncontrollably, covering almost every outdoor surface. The rural community of Lincoln County is home to 6 Jack Daniel's barrel houses. The fungus is fueled by ethanol and feeds off the alcohol vapors from the aging whiskey barrels. Residents in the county have complained that the fungus is just covering everything: the swing sets, the signs, the birdhouses, everything that is outdoor touched by this. And many of the residents are concerned, is the air still safe to breathe? Joining me now, residents Christi and Patrick Long. Thank you both for being here tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
And we know you both own a mansion roughly 250 feet from one of these barrel houses. Can you tell us what life has been like dealing with this fungus?
Well, it absolutely takes over everything that's there in reference to it takes the trees and just continues to corrode and corrode and corrode. And it actually, as a small business and woman owned, I'm new. So having to spend $10,000 a year with the current barrel houses I currently have operational, I can only imagine what it's going to be like when I have multiple operational next to our facility.
Yeah, and I mean, I hear we're talking about it being unsightly and property damage and money. Are there any health concerns involving this?
Yeah, there are. So you mentioned it earlier. The ethanol is probably the primary threat to our health, right? The EPA actually has monitoring limits for ethanol in certain vicinities. Each of these barrel houses exceeding that limit currently by about 3 times. So that's our major concern from a health aspect.
Yes.
As they're going to build 20 of these barrel houses, and 20, that means 10 times more than are there next to us today. Essentially what that means is we're going to see a 10x increase in the amount of fungus that we already are experiencing, and 10x in the amount of ethanol that we're extremely concerned with from a health perspective.
Yeah, we know you actually brought a lawsuit against Jack Daniel's. They've been ordered to stop construction of the barrel house that's next to your property. What needs to happen next?
So we actually brought our lawsuit against Lincoln County.
Okay.
Not against Jack Daniel's itself. Lincoln County made an agreement with Jack Daniel's probably about 7 years ago. And with that, there's no written contract between Jack Daniel's Brown-Forman and Lincoln County. The local mayor, which is Bill Newman, made an agreement, a handshake agreement, and the locals don't really know what's in that agreement because there's nothing written down. So with that, when we bought our place almost 2 years ago, we had no idea. Yes, we did know there was 2 barrel houses, but we also didn't know the size of them. The size of them are the largest barrel houses that they build. It's 86,000 square feet, and it has 66,000 barrels of whiskey. So these are like 3 times bigger than what's in Lynchburg. Lynchburg is our neighboring county, and this is the first time Jack Daniel's has ever crossed over lines. Moore County is known for Jack Daniel's. I mean, the reason why Jack Daniel's is there is because a wonderful spring is there, and it's been there for a really long time.
Yeah, and we know this is a tight-knit, Tennessee community that we're talking about here. Is there any difficulty? I mean, Jack Daniel's a major employer in this area as well. Is the community able to band together if they are concerned about their health? And the 20 barrel houses set to be constructed and to open, and the canary in the coal mine of just visibly being able to see the fungus as it continues to spread.
Yeah, I would say the county line is not just for geographical limits, let's say.
Right.
So Lynchburg and Moore County, Tennessee, Jack Daniel's is essentially the primary employer for everything, generations of employees, right? And so they tend to take this a little bit more like as though we're threatening the existence of Jack Daniel's. We find that somewhat laughable. I mean, I don't think we're going to shut down a $830 million corporation, right, just because we're asking for filtration systems to be added to the barrel houses. In our county, in Lincoln County, it's been a really hot topic because we feel like once we make this decision and they begin to build more and more inside of Lincoln County, what we set as left and right limits, so to speak, around filtration are probably going to be what we deal with moving forward. And we're scared to death that if we don't stand our ground now and require filtration, that we're going to look like these pictures you see here today across the entire county.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And I think there's a temptation when so many of us see these headlines to think, oh, quirky, what quirky photos coming out of this area. But, you know, Christi and Patrick, I appreciate you coming on tonight and speaking to this. It's a serious issue and standing up for your town. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. We're just asking for filtration systems.
I hear you. I hear you. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.